Bronze Star is a beast. It's a very
chunky plant.
Very big, hybrid tea, very upright.
Very healthy, thick canes on this girl here. Or is it a boy? I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but just FYI, if you plan on ordering this, or if you haven't ordered it yet and you like plants that are very chunky, here you go.
There you go, Bronze Star. Bronze Star gets the Bronze Star for the day.
Or no, it gets the Gold Star, right?
The Gold Star, yeah, that's right. The Platinum, whatever's the highest now, the Diamond Star. Oh, well, should we get started? Looks like we've got a lot of people coming in.
Football tonight.
Football tonight. All right. Should we get started, Gracie? I don't know where you went. No. She left me all alone. You guys don't want to see me. You want to see Gracie.
Right.
All right.
Here we are. She loves the chunky monkeys. Yes, we all love a good thick rose bush. You know, they are, you know, just we like a nice big statuesque plant in the garden for sure. Nothing wrong with that. Karen just put 50 plants in her new fenced deer-proof garden. Karen, we have a lot of questions all the time from people about how to deer-proof rose gardens, and a lot of people are apprehensive about planting roses because they know they have deer in their yard. So if you would love to make a post on our group about this deer fencing you've installed and what your plans are for it and take some pictures, we will pin that to the top of the group and we will make sure lots of people see it and refer people to that, because people are always asking me, how do I deer proof? And we don't have deer here. We have rabbits and we have coyotes. That's it. We do not have deer. So if you would love to share your deer fencing, where you got it, how tall it is, all the things, how you installed it, that would be amazing for the group. And for new people who are afraid to plant roses because of deer, that could help sway them if they know how to protect them. So that would be awesome. All right. Heidi, what rose is in the vase behind you? Is that Aiko?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's Aiko. I should know this. Still learning my cut roses, guys. Don't judge me too harshly.
Looks like Aiko to me.
I think it is. Yeah. Let me log into my account and look at my orders. I think it's Aiko. Isn't it pretty? Oh my gosh. I love how she, you know what's funny? Talking about Bronze Star. This reminds me of the coloration of Bronze Star, where you get that like lots of colors and it's very coppery.
Mm-hmm. That's all one variety in there? That's all one variety?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all one.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that so pretty?
That's gorgeous. That's and that's one that you all have in your garden in time. That's one of our exclusives, Princess Aiko, Japanese bread. So you all will get the option to grow that. That's incredible. There are very, very, very few greenhouse grown roses that have that kind of color variation. Typically in greenhouse, hothouse roses, they're all very, very uniformed, so that, I mean, that's what the market asks for in traditional floristry, is like very regimented, traditional, like everything looks the same. And Alexander Farms doesn't ever fit into that box, of course, because they're the best and they bring on the most unique product. And Aiko is one of those roses that literally every stem can be different in the bunch, every stem. And that looks garden grown to me. If I didn't know, Heidi, I would think that that's garden grown, because that's what you get in the garden. You know, if you have a bush of something or two bushes of something, you never cut the same exact rose, even on the same bush, right? Like that's just the way they bloom in the garden. And so Princess Aiko is one of the very few greenhouse grown roses that has that beautiful variation where every single bloom is slightly different. And so just imagine how gorgeous that's going to be in your gardens. We're going to make sure, Heidi's going to make sure we have plenty of Princess Aiko for you when her time comes, because I know that one is going to be wildly popular. It's absolutely gorgeous in the garden. I do have a couple. So
Yeah, she's so pretty. I love how like everyone is just a little bit unique, kind of like a
yes,
fingerprint or something.
they're
That's
so
what's
gorgeous.
fun about these type of roses.
It's absolutely beautiful. Yes, that is when we have the exclusive on. So that is a Grace Rose Farm rose, a Grace Rose Farm, Alexander Farms rose. So we will have plenty for all of you. We promise. Take us a little bit of time, as roses do, but we will absolutely have so many of Princess Aiko for you. And she also has the most beautiful bend in her canes. She's not super rigid, so she just billows over the vase beautifully. So she just has that charm in her color and the charm in the flexibility of her beautiful stems. She's one of the absolute best, and she has a great vase life, which is like on top of all things, right? Great vase life. So yeah, you'll have plenty of notice before she goes for sale, and we will make sure that we grow in time enough for all of you, because she's going to be a popular one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I get this question a lot. Like some people will message me or tag me on Facebook or something, but when we'll have a state size versions of our exclusives, and that's coming spring 27. So I just want to make sure everyone knows, to get an estate size rose takes a really long time. And so we have them propagated in production, and so they're coming. But we'll have lots of 1 gallons next year for everyone. So yeah, the state size is spring 27 is when we'll have those big ones.
Yes. Princess Fairy Kiss as well. We will have plenty of her for you. And we also have some new variations on Princess Fairy Kiss. We're not going to talk about them at all yet and give names, but we have the sisters of Princess Fairy Kiss for you coming as well. So she has sisters. So
Yep.
Japanese roses, we have immense plans for all of you with them. Everything takes time. So, but just know we are working on them behind the scenes. They are coming. So.
Yep. I get to go see him next week. So
I'm
flying out to California next week. So we will check on all the crops, see how they're doing.
I get to see Heidi next week. I get to see you like every few weeks now, which is amazing.
Oh, it's fun. I like it.
All right. Hello, everyone. Okay, so Heidi's got beautiful Kordes roses for us today. And I thought I would let her talk a little bit about Kordes in general first, and then we'll look at some plants that we have.
So Kordes, they're a family in Germany, and they are a multi-generational rose family. In fact, I'm going to show you a book. This is a really good book. I love it. It's the 125 Years Passion for Roses, the Kordes family. It's an incredible history book. It is online. I looked before, just so you know, for those of you who couldn't find the English version of the Mayon book. I contacted Mayon, and they had a box of English books still left over from the printing that they're sending to us that we are going to use and be able to get to you guys. So I'm excited to find that. So I just want to tell you a little bit, I was trying to figure out what you might find interesting about Kordes. I thought I'd talk a little bit about why their genetics are incredible, and two, a really fascinating story behind the new generation Kordes brothers and where they're taking the company. So first of all, Kordes genetics. I know a lot of you already know this, but in case if you don't, Kordes is in North Germany. It's in the more humid part of Germany, and Germany has banned the use of fungicides in Germany for a long time. So they've trialed and tested their roses, and they have to have roses that can't have fungicide because no homeowner can use a fungicide. So all of their breeding and their trialing and their testing has been going towards disease resistance.
Not even organic fungicides?
Yeah. No fungicides whatsoever are allowed.
Incredible. Wow.
So their genetics are especially really good in humid climates. They're good in hot climates too. But finding roses that are good in humid climates is harder than roses in dry climates. It just naturally is. And so Kordes genetics in general are bred, trialed, tested. They trial for a minimum of 10 years in Germany before they'll even send it into the United States. So before it even gets to the US and goes through the 7 years of trial in the US, it was tested for 10 years. So the roses that are being introduced of Kordes right now, for instance, Parfuma Sunrise, that was just introduced. We introduced you to that earlier this year. That was bred 2 decades ago. So that's how long it takes, and that's how devoted that the Kordes family is to finding incredibly disease-resistant roses. A little backstory. So the Kordes, I get asked a lot, like, why are Kordes roses hard to find in the U.S.? And there's a good reason behind that. So the company that used to manage their genetics and to bring them on was called New Flora. And they just kind of trialed the genetics and released them as they wanted. And then when Star Roses and Plants purchased the right to distribute their genetics, there was a big transition period, and they had to kind of start the trialing over again to reach Star's level of genetics. So some of the varieties we're introducing that I dropped in the store today are pre-Star. And they're actually really hard to find because Star doesn't introduce them. They're kind of like the leftover, harder to find varieties of the sunbelts and the colorscapes and the verandas that really only exist because somebody has a propagation license that was left over. So that's what's kind of fun about today's drop is there's Kordes roses in there that not a lot of people have, and especially not this big in estate size. Because they're not a bare root input. So it takes a really, really long time to get it from propagating it into this big size. So that's just a little kind of backstory about them. But I thought I'd tell you really quick.
Can I add one thing to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
My best friend, well, one of my best friends lives on the Chesapeake in Maryland, literally on the water. She's a doc, and by this time of year, she's a big rose grower. Some of you follow Poppy Jar Flowers, Christina Lindsay. She has lots of roses. By summer, all of her roses are defoliated because of disease. Everything's defoliated, black spot, horrible. Her Kordes roses, top to bottom, full of foliage. All of them. Her Parfuma Bliss, but she grows a lot of Parfuma Bliss. I don't know what else. Oh, Lion's Fairy Tale. She grows some of those. Foliage top to bottom, and she's literally right on the water where it's so swampy and humid. It's like the worst possible amount of humidity and just disease pressure, and her Kordes roses are absolute perfection even in the swampiest part of the year. So that's just my experience with one of my friends. And I know April is also in a very swampy area, North Florida, Jacksonville area, and her Kordes roses stay completely foliated all summer long as well. So when everything else is defoliated or full of black spot, the Kordes roses are just rock solid, and they keep producing flowers. Yeah. So that's even better. They keep their foliage and they keep producing flowers. So I'll let you continue now.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, it's a perfect example of when you take the time and the effort and the passion to trial something that long, that it makes it easier for you guys. You're successful. And so I want to show you a picture of one of the, I don't know if you guys can see him. That's Alex.
Yeah.
That's when he was a little bit younger, but that's Alex Kordes. He's the kind of the newest generation. And when I was in Germany and I met him, I want to tell you a story about him because I think this will kind of encompass the whole passion of the Kordes family. So in Germany, I think it's only men. I could be wrong on this, but when you turn 18, you have to serve your country for 3 years. You either have to serve in the army or you have to serve you have to work for free in some sort of like other job. And he didn't know, coming from this incredible rose family, right? He's 6th generation, coming from this incredible rose family, did he want to do this? And when I was there, he took me on this walk in this beautiful garden that he worked in for 3 years. And it was a mental battle for him about what he wanted to do with his life. And he walked me through this garden and he told me, Heidi, this is where I found that roses was my calling, and I served my country in this garden, and I decided I'm going to devote my entire life to roses. And that is the Kordes family in a nutshell. They're incredible people. They're incredibly passionate. They're incredibly dedicated to perfection. They only release roses that truly are different or perform, and they're constantly trying to find better. So anyway, love the Kordes family. So that's the history lesson for today. So let's dive into maybe some of the roses that that we dropped in the store. So if you're a member, it's in your private collections. I just dropped it about an hour ago. So just make sure you're logged into your account. They'll be there for 48 hours and then they'll move over to the regular website. So the ones we dropped yesterday, you have one more day. There's just a few tournament of roses left. Some of them are already sold out. So just take a look at that and make sure if there's anything you want to snag in there before they go live to the rest of the website. Today's the last day of the ones drops from yesterday.
Can you tell us the difference? I saw this question between Parfuma, Colorscape, Sunbelt, and Eleganza. Like, what are the different categories? Can you just go over that since we have a little bit of all of that?
Yeah,
and explain what an arbor rose is and why it was bred that way. So those
exactly.
5 differentiations.
Yeah, there's a ton of Kordes Roses that we dropped in there, and they're all part of these series. So instead of going over every single one, I thought I'd tell you about the series and what they're bred and what they were trialed for, so that you can make a good decision. So let's start with Arbor Rose. I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to show you pictures. So you're probably familiar with a lot of different. I'm sorry, I had to bring that closer to me so I can reach my laptop. So let me just present here.
I'll put it online for you.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
There you are. Okay.
All right. So you can see in your collection. So this is, I'm in the private collection. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of Colorscapes, Arbor Roses, Verandas, Eleganzas. Some of these are easily available in the market and others are not. But let's start with Arbor Rose. We only have one Arbor Rose that we have in today's drop. We carry a bunch of different Arbor Roses already in the store, including, if you love Honeymoon, that's an Arbor Rose. There's a lot of different ones. So Arbor Rose is, there's some really unique features to this. These are obviously climbing roses. Tangerine Skies is that like Bronze Star colored copper rose. Yeah, see how pretty. It's funny, the pictures and the rose like never really 100% match sometimes, but you can see how like kind of coppery that is. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful climbing rose. But Arbor Roses, they're bred and trialed and looked for to have flexible canes. Because as you guys know, with climber roses, in order to get them to bloom down low, they need to create lateral branches. In order to create lateral branches, you need to kind of help and tie it kind of back and forth, or to try and it's the balance of hormones in the plant that make that happen. I won't dive too much deep into that. But Arbor Roses, they have flexible canes, and so they're easier to train and to get and to create lateral branches. So they're kind of known as being really good at blooming base to tip because of that ability. They also have that incredible Kordes disease resistance and the reblooming power. So there's a lot of climbing roses that bloom one time. These ones are repeat bloomers. So repeat bloomers and incredible disease resistance and the ability to have a nice flexible cane to be able to weave it in and out of arbors and different things. So an interesting note about Tangerine Skies is this one is actually incredibly difficult to propagate. And so you don't see a lot of this on the market because not very much is produced every year. And so when I saw that there were some Tangerine Skies available, I was like, oh, we got to snag them. And they're beautiful. Look how tall they are. Like, normally when you see climbing roses in retail, they're usually much smaller than that, unless you live on the West Coast, where maybe you would find a IGC that would have climbers that tall. So I'm excited to be able to offer Tangerine Skies, especially in a plant so big and so robust, with the canes flexible enough to easily weave in and out. So that's Arbor Roses. So you should check out all the Arbor Roses that we have on our website, but Tangerine Skies is the newest drop today. So, oh, also fragrant too. I'm curious, why don't you smell it? Tell us like how fragrant, what rating would you give that?
I would give it a 7. And I would also say that the petals are quite thick. And so I can tell that it has a nice face life by the thickness of the petals and like how I don't know. Just all through years with roses, I can tell like has a good vase life. I don't grow this rose. I will plant it now, but and I love the ombre of it, how it starts out dark and bleeds out light. So it's really pretty. But yeah, definitely has a good vase life because I'm flicking here. Yeah. It's not so. Very pretty. It has clean fragrance. So it's a clean laundry, fabric softener. It's just that like fresh, clean, springy step. Not too rosy, not too sweet, just very clean. Nice, clean fragrance.
Yeah. And I believe, let me check really fast. I want to see how many of those I was able to get. Sorry, I just want to check and see.
It's not, somebody's asking about the thorns. It's not like overly or under thorny. It's normal thorny. Normal. It's rose thorny. It's not like, it doesn't have the little tiny teeth that are gonna, prick you at every inch.
Yeah, so like I got the last 20. So we have 20 for the rest of the season, and that's all we have. So then it'll be sold out for the year. Am I checking or shopping? Ashley, you're funny. Maybe both. Okay, so that's arbor roses in general. I'm gonna move over and go back, and I want to tell you a little bit about what should we go into next?
Does it bloom as much as Quicksilver or less than Quicksilver? Quicksilver is also an arbor rose.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful one. Oh, that rose is so gorgeous. Love it. How would you say it is in comparison to Quicksilver?
I would say it has similar blooming features as Quicksilver. So Quicksilver is one of those ones where it tends to bloom in waves. Although I've heard different reports from different people on Quicksilver. Some people Quicksilver's done very, very well for, and others maybe it doesn't rebloom as very well. So I think that depends on how you've trained it and the winter you've had. I think there's a lot of things kind of wrapped up in that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about colorscapes. So this is a colorscape that is no longer grown in bare root by Star Roses and Plants, Colorscape Milano. It's one of those ones that the only place you're ever going to find it is people who are propagating it and offering it in very small chunks. And so we have this in estate size. The colorscapes, as you can imagine, it's also really fun. You'll also notice with Kordes Roses, they use the letter K a lot as a kind of indicator, as a ode to their family name. So colorscape with the K stands for Kordes. As you can imagine, these are very good landscape roses. So colorscape. So there's very specific features that are bred to make sure that a rose fits into the colorscape family. And that is, it has to be compact, it has to have nonstop bloom and really glossy foliage. So there's a grower on the East Coast, Over Divest Nurseries. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They probably, I like to call them the cookie cutter grower. They are like incredibly high quality, and they like to only bring in genetics that are very similar, that like have the ability to look the same all the time. And Colorscape is their favorite rose series because they've done such an incredible job at selection and trialing. These roses are incredible for mass planting. They're incredible in the landscape, and they are like rock solid disease resistant. And they're nonstop bloomers. These are one of those roses, especially for humid climates like mid-Atlantic, deep south, northeast, because their own root and they're super winter hardy. The colorscapes are wonderful for mass plantings, putting in like park strips, places where you just want color, but not a lot of work. And you could think of it as like it's Cordes's version of drift roses. Super low maintenance, super flower power, but bright, bright, bright colors, like bright colors. So there's no fading on these. They're just incredible coloration on the colorscapes. So really, really like these for like low maintenance, landscape installation, especially for you people in really, really humid climates. So, okay, so we have several different colors of colorscapes that we just dropped into the store. Milano, I brought up Milano because it's not very well, like it's not available very much, and so it's one of those things where when you see a Milano, you should grab it. So Milano is a very, very, very dark red. Some other colorscapes that we have are Lemon Fizz, which by the way is also incredibly drought tolerant. We have Cardinal, which is more of like a cherry red. We have Flamingo, which is a beautiful like raspberry pink. So they all have that same feature. So there's pretty much whatever color you're looking for. It's going to be bright, nonstop color, wonderful for containers. Colorscapes, as you can see in this Cardinal picture, they're really beautiful in containers. They're taller. They get a little bit bigger than the verandas, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But Colorscapes are also great container roses because they give you that like season-long color, and they're really low maintenance and they're drought tolerant. So that's the Colorscape series. So I would tell you that of all of them, the Milano is the hardest to find. And Lemon Fizz, Cardinal, and Flamingo are a little bit easier to find on the market, but the Milanos are very difficult. So
do we have the ability to sort by breeder on our website? We're being asked in your new filters, Heidi.
we do, yeah. So you can see there's a little breeder.
Okay.
Yep. So we can, let's go to breeder.
I think now people are wanting to look at other Kordes roses too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They want to see all the Kordes roses that we offer.
Yeah, so you can see right here, you can click on, this is just in this collection. It's just the member collection. We have 21 Kordes roses just in this collection. So if you go to shop all rose bushes, in fact, you know what, let's do it. We'll just go shop all rose bushes.
Since we're talking about Kordes, right? We might as well show them where they
you can see like all of the beautiful Kordes roses that we have. You go to breeder. And let me just scroll down a little bit. So we have 50 different Kordes roses on our website right now. So this way you can see everything. The Parfumas, the Kordes series, the Sunbelts, the Verandas, all the Arbor Roses, all the Eleganzas. We have a really incredible selection of Kordes roses. So that's how you can sort our entire selection. Now, keep in mind that these new ones that we're showing you today are only available in the private collections for 48 hours, and then they would populate all in the other sorting features, right? Because as a member, members get that 48-hour access, early access.
And we do have an incredible Kordes exclusive coming. At least one. Secured one right now. And many more to come. We have a gorgeous Kordes exclusive that is ours forever that I'm so excited about. So
should we show it to them? That's one that we can show a picture of. If you missed it last time, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek again because I'm so excited about this one. It
feels like such an honor that they're giving us a rose, right? Like how many companies do they give roses to? I don't know any others.
Not very many. So we get to have their Eleganza Antique, which is Eleganza means it's really good in a vase. And the antique means that it's that old world cabbage style. So it has that old world look to it. So we officially we may rename this. We have the committee will decide that, but this is going to be an exclusive rose to Grace Rose Farm, and that's the Eleganza Antique Marzipan. So super excited about that one. We'll have the first time that we'll offer that one will be a bare root in our bare root sales. So it's not going to happen very soon. Yeah. So probably in the next, I actually have a meeting at the end of next week to discuss some finalizing of all of that documentation, and then hoping in October. So that's the idea. is that
That's a gorgeous one. I'm so excited about that one.
Yeah, me too. And it was one of the first to bloom. Like it blooms super early. It just has Kordes genetics have this like propensity to bloom. They're like constantly wanting to set flowers. Thomas, their breeder, he really looks for that. Like it's always funny when I go on the fields with Thomas, he would always be like, Heidi, look how busy this is. He's always like, it's busy. It's a busy rose. That's what he calls. He's always looking for busy roses that are busy making buds. So anyway, I always think of the word busy when I think of Kordes roses because they're busy.
Can I tell you all a little something that has to do with this is, you all have been asking for romantic antique and caramel antique for your gardens for ages from me. And Joey and I, Joey from Alexander Farms, of course, he grows them as cut roses, and I have them as cut roses for you. And we contacted Kordes and said, can we get the license to offer those as bushes in the United States? And of course, Kordes loves Joey. Joey's a customer, and he grows and sells their beautiful roses. And they said, Joey, but it's not trialed outdoors. We don't want to put it outside because that could hurt the Kordes brand, right? By consumers growing a rose that was intended only for people like Joey who grow as a professional grower indoors, right? So for as much as you all want to grow those roses, Kordes is sticking to their, philosophy of they only want to put out the roses that have been trialed for 10 plus years outdoors for consumers to grow, and let the roses that are trialed to grow in greenhouses be grown in greenhouses, which is romantic antique and caramel antique. But there are so many other gorgeous outdoor grown Kordes roses that we plan on bringing you all. So, it would be easy, right? Just to start propagating romantic antique and caramel antique. But, Kordes really sticks to their philosophies on only the healthiest for outside, because they want you to be successful. They want us to be successful as sellers, and they want you to be successful as growers. So anyway, just a side note. Because we have tried to get those roses for you. We have tried. But only do the healthiest.
It's really important for you to understand that at Kordes, there's two separate breeding programs. There's two separate breeders. Their breeding for cut roses is an entirely different section of their greenhouses than their outdoor. They do try and bring different aspects of them into each other, but florist roses are designed to be undercover with no rain touching them. They're designed to be in hydroponics, so given the exact right amount of water and nutrients at all times, because the number one thing they want that thing to do is to send up a really strong long stem to be able to be cut and to get a big head, and that opens very slow because it has to open slow. They're looking for less thorns, which is an incredible feature, which we had that, in bushes, and they're trying to bring that over for sure. So it's super important to understand that the breeding and the trialing of florist roses is completely different. Completely, like different breeders, different trialing aspects, different things they're looking for. And so that's why these ones are 100%. You're going to be really, really successful on these types of roses. So.
Yeah. And those two roses, caramel antique and romantic antique, are fabulous roses, right? We ship them all over the world, grown undercover, but they're not bred for you. They're bred for professional growers, and they're bred to be hydroponics, and roses that are bred to be hydroponic are not meant to be grown outside. So it's just two different things. So we're going to find you the roses that are as beautiful as romantic antique and caramel antique, but are meant for you, so you can be successful. So that's Heidi's job. That's why she's here.
Yay, I'm glad I have a job. And don't worry, we have some incredible things coming. So great vase life, big, beautiful flowers, so don't worry. We have some incredible things coming. So
yeah.
And we have incredible things now. These things are, trial tested and true, and they're beautiful. In fact, let's go to some eleganzas, because if you want vase life, eleganzas are for you. So let me show you some new eleganzas we just dropped in the store. And I'm going to point out one that is hard to find. Let me see. Let me bring all these up here. Where is she? Oh, there she is.
Oh, yeah. This is a gorgeous rose.
I love Oh Happy Day.
This is a beautiful rose. I wish
So
mine were blooming. Oh, they're not blooming right now. We checked. Oh,
yeah. So eleganzas. So in the United States, it's kind of interesting. In the United States, they all get lumped under eleganza, like one name. In Europe, they split them between eleganza and eleganza antique. So it's like high centered, typical hybrid teas versus kind of more like English style roses. But they all have to be really good in the vase and have really good health. So eleganzas have some of that florist genetics inside of them to make sure that they are really good for bouquets. So and with health. So if making bouquets and cutting roses is a big what you love to do, which I know it is because I know that's what we all love to do that, right? Eleganzas are an incredible option for you. So Oh Happy Day, this has been cut from Star's catalog. It's only available if someone has a propagation license. It's going to be hard to find very soon. So I would suggest grabbing this. Of all the eleganzas on the website right now, this would be one I would grab. So we have these in the state size.
This one I've gotten 10 days if it's cut at the right stage. Like cut as a sepal down, nice fat bud, just starting to unfurl. Get over a week on it in the vase. Yeah. It's an amazing cut flower. And the color, the ombre. You know what it reminds me of, girls? It reminds me a little bit of Edith, the David Austin cut rose. You know how it has that beautiful ombre? Same as this rose. Same exact tones and the way it ombres out in color. This is a stunning rose.
And I love how it creates these multiple swirls in the center. It's such a unique aspect of this rose, and also that ombre. It's just an incredible. This is a great one. I love all the eleganzas. I really love this one. Yeah. So just for its color, but yeah, that's eleganza.
It's a great shrub. Like it minds its manners in the garden. It doesn't shoot up wild canes. It makes a great shrub. So.
Yeah, Amy has a really good question about, is it really ombre? And the pictures you see online is more yellow. You're absolutely right. It's funny because there's a couple different Kordes roses. I would say like Sunbelt Crazy Love is one. I would say Oh Happy Day is one. I would say Sierra is another one where you get, like, depending upon the weather when that bud is forming and when they open, you can see really differences in different colors around the country. And so Oh Happy Day is one of those, and it will portray different colors at different times in different seasons. So it's hard to explain a rose like that when, like, someone in Georgia versus California versus Utah, they might experience in the same time like a different color of the same rose. But generally throughout the season, you're going to see all those different ombres. So
it's definitely a chameleon one where in the spring and fall, you're going to get more rich and like more of that ombre. And then that color is going to be a little bit more, I would say, just bled out or more like saturated, leaning one way or another in the heat of the summer. So this is one that you can enjoy in different colors throughout the year. So
yeah, awesome. Let's see. So that's eleganzas. So you can see we have a bunch of different eleganzas that we dropped in the store today. Let me go back up here, and I'll just point out a couple other ones. Let me just get them all loaded again. Grand Amore, I would tell you that eleganza Grand Amore, if you need to grow a red rose for a rose show, you should be planting eleganza Grand Amore. It is an incredibly clean and incredibly red, that perfect red rose. It's known for that. It's known for having that perfect florist red rose, but for your garden.
Perfect form.
Perfect form, yeah. Let's see. What other eleganzas did I put in here?
Fiji is a great little rose. That one is a great one.
Yeah. Fiji is fun. It's a fun color. It's very tropical.
And cheap.
Yeah. And we also have Sunny Sky, which I love Sunny Sky because it opens so ruffly. Look how ruffly Sunny Sky opens. An incredible yellow vase life rose with ruffles. So very frilly. Um,
I've got Sunny Skies here. It's a very branchy plant. So you can see it has that like shrub. It doesn't shoot straight up, right? So it's more of like a shrub shape that it's in a more of a bowl shape. And this one here's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 canes on it. So
yeah, awesome.
here it is. There's a plant.
That's the beautiful thing about eleganzas too, is that they produce a ton of these like show quality roses because they're so branchy. You know, we love Francis Mayon, right? It's one of our favorite roses, but it has a strong apical dominance, and sometimes you don't get a whole lot of roses off it. They're like, but with eleganzas, they're bred to be more branchy hybrid teas, and so you get more of that show quality roses. Bang for your buck.
Do you have Gypsy Soul there?
Yeah, let me scroll
Look
down
at
to
this
Gypsy
bush of Gypsy Soul. My goodness gracious. Look
Yeah,
at this.
Gypsy.
Look at the amount of canes on this thing.
Yeah, Gypsy Soul
Whoa.
is
Wow.
such a beautiful, like
That's
old world red.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Dark berry. Can you go to the second photo?
Yeah, the second photo was like a little bit, it's kind of not the best photo
Okay.
that I was able to get from Star, but you can see how it opens and how it has those layered petals. Just really beautiful red.
This
Little
looks
more
like
of a
like practically mature, been in the ground for 2-year rose bush, like it just got pruned.
mm-hmm.
Look at all that beautiful branching. So all of that is going to flower, which is incredible. I mean, that's just at the top of this plant. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20 plus areas that are going to start flowering, pushing new growth out of those buds and flowering. So that's that's incredible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see this landscape plant of it, where you can see how bushy and how many stems of those big, beautiful roses that they create. So and you can see how dark and glossy and clean that foliage is. So once again, really healthy Kordes foliage, great vase life, really strong bloomers. So. Right, that's eleganzas. Let's see. Let's tell you about verandas. You know, the number one question I think I get is will this rose do good in a pot? Which roses are good for containers? Well, Kordes has been breeding roses for containers for a long time, and that is the veranda series. So verandas, you can see we dropped a bunch in. There's Roxanne, which is no longer available from Star. Fiesta, which is a newer one from Star, which is kind of a multi-tone. We have White Veranda. We have Brilliant, which I love Brilliant. When you see, like, they look like little tiny mini cabbage roses. They're so cute. Wonderful for mixed containers. They're bigger flowers than miniature roses. Okay, as you can see, here's Veranda Sunbeam. And Veranda Lavender. Veranda Lavender is a beautiful miniature, true lavender rose. And then Mango. So I would tell you that lavender and mango are the biggest sellers because they're incredible. They're incredible colors, and they're 100% bred, trialed, tested for container performance. So they stay short and compact and have lots and lots of flowers.
Lavender fades out to a beautiful silver. So it starts lavender and it fades out to silver. These have been in like 95-degree heat in my garden, so don't judge them. But Fermin did cut us a few. So this is lavender. And the foliage is clean, clean, clean. The buds are really cute on this one. Like, look at how adorable that little bud is.
Yeah.
So cute. So great container rose. And Heidi and I are going to be, one of our goals next year is to really help you with your patios. So we have a whole thing around patio roses and making your patios a place that you want to spend time, right? Not just in your gardens, but your patios. So if you want to get a jump start on next year, the verandas are amazing. And I hope we have Jolie veranda next year because I adore that one. I know we don't have it this year, but that is the most like, cheerful, like that one I adore. That is such a pretty one. And it's not like a color that you would think that I really like, but
Yeah, that surprises me.
I know, because it's so like, but it's just like so bright and cheerful. It's like a watermelon, you know, like it's just,
Yeah.
Anyway, this is Veranda Lavender, and you can see she fades out to a gorgeous silver color. That's at the end of her, these are at the end of their life here. Okay. So these are ready to go. If I flick them, they're going to go. So, but they've been out in the heat in the sun. So yeah, she's a cute.
And you know, they're designed for container performance, not necessarily bouquet performance. You know, these are roses, and the beautiful thing about growing roses in containers, especially roses like these, where you can plant them, put in some, you know, different annuals to mix them up, and then you can take them out and plant them right in the ground and enjoy them forever. It's like, you know, that's a beautiful thing about using things like roses and other perennials in containers. You can enjoy them and then close to you on your patio, and then, you know, be intimate with them, and then you can go place them in the garden where you love them. So anyway, the verandas, incredible series of container bred roses, bigger flowers than miniatures, lots of flower power, nice and neat little tidy habits in a container. So
nice and healthy.
yeah,
because you know when you have containers, unlike garden roses in the garden, a container rose is more likely to get wet from a hose from watering.
yeah.
So these Kordes roses are bred to be able to get wet from your hose, right? And they're not going to mildew and they're not going to rust. And so that's just a huge selling point to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've gone over eleganzas, verandas, arbor roses, colorscapes. So we have a bunch of different colors in there. And then I think what we'll do is we'll end on brand new one. Oh, by the way, Sunbelt Sierra Lady. Oh my gosh, the color on this rose. I love this rose. Also been cut from Star, so not an easy one to find. Also, Tupelo Honey is another one that's been cut from Star. That's going to be really, really hard to find. So let's maybe end on like sunbelts. Let's talk a little bit about sunbelts. And I'm going to tell you about Garden Flame because it's the newest one. Some of you are probably like, oh, sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I said I have that. I'm going to get it.
Okay. You know what's funny about this rose? So I was at Star when we introduced this rose. And the Sunbelt, let's talk about the Sunbelt series a little bit. Sunbelt means that they are bred for heat and humidity. They can tolerate heat. They love the heat. They bloom better in the heat. And the one thing I love about this rose, and this may not be everybody's color. This is definitely, you know, when I would give tours of gardens and different things, men love this rose. This is like a man's rose. Like, of all the roses I brought into trial at my house, this is the one my husband was like, oh, what is that? That's cool. That's like one of the few that he actually was like, wow, what is that? You know? So if you want to make your husbands happy, maybe get one that's maybe for him. Anyway, so, you know, sometimes when roses, they finish lighter, right? They fade out. Sunbelt gets better. So the longer that it goes, the darker red it gets. So it starts off gold with a little bit of orange, and as it finishes deep red. And so the longer it's on your bush, the stronger the color, which is unusual for a rose. It doesn't always happen. And because it has that Kordes genetics, that propensity to bloom, you get like these, it's literally like on fire. There's so many flowers, and it's always a different, like yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange, red. So anyway, sunbelts love the heat. They can tolerate it. Great disease resistance. own root, so they're super winter hardy too. So if you live somewhere like Utah where it's like cold in the winter and super hot, sunbelts do great in that environment. So Garden Flame is a new one from Star, and really love how this rose finishes. So.
Do we have Plum Perfect?
We do. It's on the regular website.
Okay.
So it's we already dropped Sunbelt Plum Perfect in the store.
Okay. I love that one. That's an incredible rose.
Yeah, that is a beautiful purple. I love that one.
Very unique shade of purple. I like to say that that one it has the same color almost as Angel Face, but it holds its color longer than Angel Face. Angel Face is kind of the same, very similar.
Okay. And the last one I want to show you is Ti Amo.
Oh yeah, that's a new one.
That's brand new.
Got it here.
So Ti Amo, there's not very many times that the name of the rose overseas is the same as the name of the rose here, right? Think of like the Martha Stewart rose with Jean de La Fontaine, and but Ti Amo, we did this experiment while I was at Star. I'm like, let's keep the name the same because Kordes always introduces their roses first in the Europe, and then the United States comes after. It's very, very, it's like the way David Austin does things too, right? Whereas Mayond, it's more like the US leads the way. And so Ti Amo is an incredibly healthy red blooming machine with the darkest, greenest, glossiest foliage. Unfortunately, there's no fragrance. Red fragrant roses are really hard to find, but Ti Amo is Italian for my love. So that's what it means. So this is definitely an incredibly healthy red rose. It did really well in the Pennsylvania trials, even blooming in the middle of the summer. So Ti Amo is an incredible red rose. Just every year they introduce something new. It's a little bit better, better bloomer, better performer, all of those things. So
sorry. I saw this rose at the end of the summer in the Star Rose Fields last year before they introduced it. And if you know where the Star Rose Fields, they're in Central California, where it is 100+ degrees all summer long. It is brutal. This one was still going, just pumping them out. And it was the end of the summer, the time that the roses look their worst at the end of the summer before they cut them back for their fall flush. And this rose was just still covered in flowers, and they weren't faded, which is unreal for being out in Bakersfield, like that area where everything fades there. Everything just doesn't look anything like it should look. Had nice size flowers, of course, not as big as they would have been in the spring, still nice size flowers and not faded at all. And the plants were very well covered in flowers at the end of the summer. So, we sold this as bare root last year as well. Not a lot because Star didn't have a lot. We sold a few. So, and it did very well. I think we sold through all of them. And you can see the plant is very, very well branched. Like this is an incredibly well branched rose. It's got 5 big solid canes from the bottom and beautiful branching, several inches up from the base of the plant. So this is a nice, really nice size plant. It's not super tall, but this has a more of a shrub shape. So it's got that beautiful branching. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I was very impressed with it when I saw it in the Star Fields. So
somebody asked, let's see, Ashley asked, how does it compare to Traviata? Good question. So very different than Traviata. So Traviata has to be budded, and Traviata really only performs better in like drier climates. It's definitely a drier climate rose, whereas Ti Amo is own root, super winter hardy. The flower is not as big as Traviata, and not as full and not as ruffly as Traviata, but it's a way better performer and a better flower, especially for humid environments. So.
Yeah. Somebody asked quickly, they asked about Wild Blue Yonder. I saw that question. They want to know the color and about the plant. I have the plant here if you want to talk about it for a second.
Yeah, that was one that we it's funny because we dropped a lot in the store yesterday. We didn't talk about all of them. And so this is a good opportunity because I think that's all the Kordes I wanted to show you guys. There's, lots of fun things to shop and lots of different colors of all those different series. See, Wild Blue Yonder. Oh yeah. So this picture, the very first picture on here, I took that picture at the middle of in the middle of the summer at the Golden Gate Bridge rose garden where, where like a lot of roses were completely defoliated and not blooming, but Wild Blue Yonder was still going. Such a cool color.
Cool.
Such a unique, it also has, it's different than Purple Aura. It has a different tone and a different shade. It definitely has more blue in it.
Yeah.
And as you can see, when it opens, you get those really dark golden stamens. So some of these landscape pictures are ones that I took in the garden in the middle of the summer, and you can just see how much they're still going, even in that humid kind of coastal climate up there. So really impressed with Wild Blue Yonder. I think it's a great color, super fragrant, like super fragrant. Has a citrus scent. It repeats really well.
That's Christian rose? Is that a Christian rose?
This one is a Tom Caruth.
Tom Caruth. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not surprised. It looks like either a Christian rose or a Tom Caruth rose.
It does, yeah. You can almost always tell, right?
Yep, I can always tell. Yep.
You can tell the breed. It's so funny because you walk around with a breeder and they know their roses instantly. There's just their genetic history, and they can identify things really quickly. So, but yeah, so this is Tom Caruth rose and Wild Blue Yonder. So.
Speaking of Christian, I talked to Christian today, and we are planning an amazing live for all of you with Christian the last week of October. So we'll get it on the calendar in plenty of time. Heidi and I are going to be out there at Weeks Roses for that entire week, practically doing lots of really cool, fun things. And we're going to have Christian on. So you'll formally get to meet Christian. He is an absolute hoot. He's hilarious. He's so incredibly like a mastermind of roses. He can talk about roses even more than me. Like the two of us together, I don't know. It could be like a 5-hour live. And we're so excited. We're going to have some really special Christian roses for you that you're only going to be able to get from us. And you're going to get to meet Christian. So he's really excited. He called me today to confirm that we're still going to do it. And I said, absolutely. So, you're all going to love him. You're really going to love him. He's an incredible human and just, he's extremely particular about what he releases.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I love about him. I love breeders that are particular because it's so easy, when you love roses, it's so easy to walk through a trial field of roses and be like, everything's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And he immediately was like, oh no, that one sends up horns, or oh no, that one gets downy mildew, or no, you don't want that one. That one's garbage. And, or, he's very particular. And that's what I love about breeders that are like that. And Christian is one of those people, you don't become a rose breeder to make oodles of money. And it takes years to make money when you breed roses, and he is now, and he's very particular. So anyway, we're excited to be able to have that live with Christian. So you guys will love him if you haven't ever heard from him or anything. So
he's got some really special stuff in his fields that nobody has ever seen. Heidi and I have been lucky enough to see it. We're probably going to see it next week too. Like the depth and the breadth, as Heidi likes to say, of Christian's breeding. She had no idea of how much beautiful breeding he has that is at our fingertips. So we're really, really excited. Like, you guys are going to love what you see. And we're really excited to introduce you to him finally. So he's amazing.
Let's see what kind of questions we have. That was
Fashion Forward is coming back, by the way. Yes, you've asked Fashion Forward. That will be back. His 3 new releases from this last year. Fashion Forward. Heidi, the
Um,
other two. I'm just like drawing a blank right now.
2. Hang on, I'll look.
Nothing but class. Nothing but
Yeah,
class.
nothing with class.
And the ombre one. I have it in my office. I could run in. They're all coming back. They're
Hang
all
on, I'll
coming
look.
back. We have plenty for you. I know we only had little tiny bits for you. We're gonna have lots of those for you. The one that's on the cover, Heidi.
Yeah, yep. I'm bringing up my order right now to see, make sure we. I think we got it.
She's already secured Kordes Roses for you. So
Living the dream.
living the dream. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have plenty of those for you. Heidi's already got her confirmation. So we're really excited about that.
Yay.
And Christian, one other thing about him is I've always known he's had creative names for his roses. Oh, Time After Time. That's another one. Yes. He'll talk to you about how he comes up with these names. I'm not going to tell you. It's really funny. Like the way, like where he comes up with these names. And once he tells you, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. It's pretty cool. So he has lots of stories. He's a really good storyteller. So
yeah, he's really into rock and roll.
Yeah.
And he's really into music. So that should give you, if you look across and you see a rose that has some sort of reference to a music name, most likely it's a Christian Bedard rose. So
yeah.
Let's see. There's got lots of questions here. Let's see if we can maybe answer some of them.
Can you show us Sunblaze Sweet? I have Sunblaze Sweet back in behind my barn. If Heidi wants to talk for a second, I could go get one.
Yeah. How do we make the circles bigger again?
Oh, let me do that. Sorry.
Do you know how to do that?
There
we go.
I'll go grab. I will go grab a Sunblaze Sweet to show you, assuming we have one, and then Heidi can talk about Color Magic. Maybe somebody's asking.
Oh yeah.
I'll be right back. Let me see if we have one. BRB.
Yeah. So yeah, Color Magic was one that we dropped in the store yesterday. Let me remind myself the details on that one. You know, you think I would know all of the roses, but I don't. So let's look up Color Magic. Color Magic is, I think this is a JMP. Let me double check. Yes. It's funny because the roses I know the least are Jackson and Perkins because they hold on to their roses so much. And unless I see them, and I haven't seen Color Magic myself in person, but I hear so much good about Color Magic. So yeah, that's a Jackson and Perkins. It's a hybrid tea. They introduced it in 78. But the thing that people have told me they love about this, and I'm sorry I don't have personal experience with this one, but that it's perfectly named, that it has that color magic that as it ages, it becomes a more beautiful, deeper color. So, it has that Jackson and Perkins kind of prolific hybrid tea, big beefy bloom on it. So I wish I could tell you more. I don't have a lot of personal experience with Color Magic myself. I don't know if anyone here has one that would like to share a little bit more detail and story behind that one. That'd be great. Sorry, I didn't answer that one very well. Let's see. Sarah asks, so are there different drops on store and members? Yeah. So Sarah, the members, no matter all the drops we're doing like right now, like today's, because they're not exclusive to us, they're just new to us. All members, no matter if you're a gardener, a collector, or a conservator, you get 48 hours access to new products we drop in the store. Because sometimes we only find things in really small quantities. So a big part of the membership is that you get the first stab at them. You get the first chance to buy. And that after 48 hours, they go into the regular store. Then everyone can purchase them. And so most of the time, there's still a few left to go on the website. But, we sell out of, we've already sold out of ones we dropped yesterday. And, like sometimes we have, like, for instance, the Dark Lady, I was only able to get 4. And that sold out in like 10 minutes. It was gone. So, the benefit is if there's a rose that you're really looking for and really want, we want to give members the first stab at these. And so we're trying to make sure we do these lives and tell you about them so members kind of are aware of it first. So we also will have emails. Sometimes we do surprise drops just for fun, where we'll do a live or a social media post. But you should always check back pretty regularly in your collections. And also, just so you know, sometimes your collections will be empty, and that's okay. That doesn't mean there's nothing, that something isn't working. It just means that, because they're only sitting there for 48 hours. We're going to do at least one drop a week, but we have so many scheduled in September. There should be almost always something in your collection. So yeah. April says, Color Magic glows, very creamy, lighter apricot in the summer for me. And now it's more electric, deep orange salmon with a lighter glowing center. April, you need to help us write product descriptions. Very traditional bloom form. Trisha says she checks back constantly. Will Pom Pom Veranda be offered? I hope I can find that. I love that rose. Kordes has some really cool roses that create these huge sprays like Pom Pom does. So I'm looking for it, Jennifer. I hope so.
Sunblaze, all of my sunblazes, we've had a heat wave here. My sunblazes don't have any flowers. So nothing to show you. I'm sorry. They'll be coming back into flowering. Hopefully we won't have any. Hopefully we sell through all of them, but nothing out there has any flowers because they're sitting on a landscape fabric, so it's black, right?
Yeah.
So they get a little warm back there. They're watered every day, but there's no flowers on them. So I checked. I'm sorry.
Willenspiel. Oh, I will try, Ashley. That's a tough one. Sarah asked, tell us again where to find our member links, please. Sure. Yeah, let me show you. I can share my screen. I can show you exactly where. I'll share my screen. Gracie, could you put
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I just barely put it up there. So
there you go.
Okay, let's just start from the main page. So this is the landing page. If you just go to gracerosefarm.com, there's a little pop-up that says the state membership is here. That's just where you can buy the membership. But we have this whole menu, whether you're on your cell phone or you're on your laptop, that has this membership drop down. And so there's a whole section here called private collections. And there's also a link to log into your account. So you have to be logged into your account with the email that you used when you purchased the membership. So keep that in mind. Nothing will work. Your coupon codes won't work. Your private collections won't work, right? That's the key, is literally the key. So then you can go into whichever collection, whether you're a gardener, a collector, or conservator, you can go into your collection from there. And that's where all of those 48-hour, this is the collector page, landing page if you're a collector. That's where the 48-hour early access will be. Now, if you're a collector or a conservator, whenever we drop exclusives into the store, like the Japanese roses and some of these Kordes, the Kordes exclusive we're going to get, the Mayon exclusives, the Scott Trees rose that we have, that's where those will reside because we have such limited quantities of those. And that's just for the first year that we introduce them. And then we'll have more for other people to buy when we have larger crops of them. So that is your personal private collection page. Collectors and conservators also get 48-hour early access to exclusive non-plant products. So we're going to be offering gloves and different things that are exclusive to us. And you'll have 48-hour early access to those things too. And you can find out all that information. You can do comparisons. If you go to Discover Membership, we have a really great landing page that talks all about our memberships. There's a comparison chart that can show you the direct differences of each different membership. Here's where you can purchase them. And then we have this wonderful Q&A here at the bottom, how do I find and use my coupon codes? How do the coupon codes work? How do I access my private collection page? Can I share my membership with friends? How will I place orders? There's a really wonderful kind of FAQ section at the bottom of that page. And that can be found, again, just go to membership and you can go to discover membership, or you go directly to your private collection pages. So that's a little tidbit on the how to find your membership collections. Holiday asks, will it be crazy trying to buy like last year? I'm assuming you're talking about the exclusives, maybe. I hope not. So how we're doing it is it's first come, first serve. We're not going to limit anybody to you can only get one or whatever. We'll give you lots and lots of advance notice when we'll put the exclusives in. So we won't drop them. It won't be a surprise. We'll have some surprise drops just with these kind of non-exclusive products. They're just kind of fun little surprises. With the exclusives, we're going to make sure you know well in advance so you can be prepared and make sure you can have time to make the decision on whether or not you want it. And then once we open it up, they're there until they sell out. And only collector and conservators will have access to purchase those. So, Valerie asked.
Anything also that it is one of the ones we've alluded to of being low quantity, very hard to find, elusive, those also you'll have advance notice that they're going online. So very small quantity roses. So is it probably like somewhere around 100-ish varieties, or either like exclusive or like super low quantities, and we'll give you plenty of notice.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
On all of that. And as we, as I know there are some people that don't understand like why only the 2 tiers have access to the exclusives. And it really truly is because they're scarce for now. And as we build up the stock, we will have many, many more. But these things, like we always talk about, take so much time. And so it's the best way to make sure that the people who are, I guess what I don't know the word is, but so wanting them so much have really good access to them. And we promise we will be growing more and more and more.
Yeah. So if you don't get the new Kordes exclusive rose this year, in future years we will have it in larger quantities. But if you want to be the first one to get it, that's where the membership comes in. So. Someone asked me to talk a little bit about Veranda White. Yeah, Veranda White is so pretty. You guys love white roses. Everyone loves white roses. So Veranda White, so just a prolific bloomer. It blooms in like sprays, and it just is such a beautiful white rose. So just great for containers, very clean foliage. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say other than it's nice and compact, has really disease-resistant foliage. It's a beautiful pure white, heavy flowering, definitely designed specifically for containers. So if you want white roses in a container that'll stay nice and compact, have a nice shape, Veranda White's a really good option for you. So.
Great. Oh, I thought I would show you the one we were just talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That was so this is a brand new release, but so nobody had this except for Weeks this last year. But we had a few. We had a few of this, and we had a few of his other new releases, Fashion Forward and Light Years Away. We sold through those quickly, but we have plenty of them for you in Bare Root for this coming year. This one is, and obviously it made the cover, right?
Yeah, this one is incredible. This one is like, I hope I ordered enough. I ordered a lot, but
it looks like Issei.
Yeah.
And it does amazing. Christian gave me this one and the other 2 back in January when I was up visiting him, and they've done amazing in the garden. Obviously, they would. So this is going to be one that I think we'll definitely like make an announcement, right? Living the dreams going live, just so like the really special ones, or the ones, I mean, they're all really special, right? But the brand new ones on the market, or the ones that have very small quantities that we've not told you about, but are telling you about a little bit, and the exclusives, we'll make sure you have plenty of notice to get these. So will it be Bare Root or pot? It'll be Bare Root. We will have this Bare Root.
We'll have bare root this winter, and then we also have estate roses in production for next summer.
For next summer. So I know this one's just, ugh.
You guys gotta have that one.
Yeah.
Christian Bedard did an incredible job on that one.
And this one, Heidi and I also saw this in the field. Oh, oh my goodness. Like,
that stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah. I have like 50 photos of this rose on my phone. It is incredible. The amount of flowers on this plant. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that was the summer, by the way. That was like in the heat. When
Yeah.
we saw that. It's incredible. Yeah. So
you guys know I love going to see roses in the heat, right? Like the worst time of the year, because you always find the superstars. And
I'm like,
that's
hey, you don't want to go in the summer. You're like, no, you do. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go in the summer. It's hot. And we're out of breath. And we're like, ugh.
Wedding is
because they look their worst. And then you can tell which are the really good ones.
Yeah, that's the time to go. Every rose looks incredible in the spring. Every rose looks incredible. You got to know what it looks like when you completely ignore it.
Light years away, ladies. They're asking the name on it. Light years away, and it's a gorgeous. It's absolutely. And the fashion forward is the other like pink one that's coming out.
Yeah, that one has a reverse on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I love a reverse. I'm a sucker for a reverse.
And this fragrance on these, Christian outdid himself with these three. He really outdid himself. Yeah. So
he loves fragrance. Fragrance is an important part for him.
He does, and he recognizes what we want, which is the old-fashioned charm and the sprays and the beautiful, nodding, gorgeous, flowy rose bushes, and that's what he's bringing us. So he's amazing. Yes, I'm working on the catalog, and the catalog will be out this month. It'll be out before the Bare Roots launch. So you will get to see everything we're offering. It's a massive job I'm doing, but the catalog will be out. The digital catalog. It's digital. So I know you all loved the catalog last year. I only had it online for like 3 months, and it had like close to 100,000 hits on the host that I hosted it on. So we will get you the catalog really, really soon. I'm working on it with Nicholas. So it'll be electronic. It's a PDF. It's an online PDF, the catalog. Someday we'd love to produce a gorgeous catalog for you. But we're not there yet in paper, but in the mail, someday.
Sorry, go ahead.
I should say Valerie wants to know, are you going to produce a blog about bare roots when it's time to plant? And she's going to do more than that. We're going to have whole live series and blogs on you being successful with bare roots from start to finish. Go ahead, though.
I was going to say, Dawn was asking, will the top 2 tier be able to get that one? I think she did that when you were showing the Live in the Dream. So yeah, that's a good question, because remember the top 2 tier is just exclusive. This one's not exclusive to us. So whether you're a gardener, collector, or conservator, you'll get 48 hours first access. That's a beautiful thing. These new ones, things might be limited quantity. That's the benefit during bare root season. Number one, you get a ton of free stuff. You might be able to get that one for free because a big part of membership is you get free bare root roses. So the only thing it doesn't include the free bare roots is like trees, pom-poms, and the exclusive ones, which is like that Kordes, a couple Mayon. But all the Weeks, all the Star, all the David Austin, all the other ones, you'll have first 48-hour access to, so you can shop and be the first ones to shop as a member, no matter if you're a gardener, collector, or conservator. Mm-hmm. So Dawn, all 3 will have 48-hour access to that one.
Actually, Guerrero wants to know when bare roots will ship. They will ship. Heidi will tell you.
Yeah, so we'll start shipping those probably end of January, I would say. What we're going to do this year is we're going to wait till we get all of our bare root crops in and sorted, and then we'll begin shipping. So that will happen. We'll finalize all of that, taking it into our fulfillment center by hopefully the second week of January, and we'll start shipping soon after that. And we're going to ship this year by zone. So there's not going to be a date picker because we need to make sure we get bare root roses. It's super important that you get it at the right time. If you get it too late and it's hot, it's tricky. It's tricky, right? So we're going to start south and we're going to work our way north. So the first people that will be shipped will be people in the south, in the warmer areas. You'll be shipped in January, end of January. And then as time goes on, we're going to ship bare root from like mid-January till end of March into April a little bit. Will depend upon the season and how things are going, but and then we'll shut off bare root season. So
light years away compared to Lesme Not. I can only tell you, Lesme Not it grows vertically and the flowers sit at the top of the stems. They're very dense. It definitely is a garden rose. It has some of that like cut rose genetics in it because it has that extremely long base life and it's a huge flower. Doesn't bloom so much in big sprays. Sometimes you'll get a spray, but it's more of like a big terminal rose. Light years away is, I would say it's more compared to like Celestial Nights, where it is a fluttery, blooms in sprays, more of a like gentle nodding stem, more of a shrub that bloom, like it's a grandie versus a hybrid tea. So different structures, very, very different structures, equally beautiful, but very, very different type of flower too. So.
Trisha asks, will you run out for us cold zones like last season? No, we're doing something totally different, Trisha. So the way that we're going to be managing our inventory and when we're putting stuff on sale is very different than last year. So the whole goal and everything we're building this year is to protect that inventory so that no matter whether you ship January 15th or April 15th, that as long as the growers don't have crop failures, we're going to definitely make huge improvements there. So. Lisa asked, will we get a heads up on ship time when they ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have like a little, I was thinking about putting together a chart, so like if you're in this zone, it's shipping during these weeks. And then you'll get an email when it's coming to you.
Yeah. And we're also going to be having the bare roots on the website where it's very clear to you how many you can fit in a box before you have to go up to the next box size and a bigger shipping charge. So we want to encourage you to fill the box to save on shipping. So all of that is going to be very, very clear for you on the website. So you can get the most bang for your buck in a box. And we're going to have bundles and we're going to have buy more, save more. So there's going to be lots of ways to save money and also make sure that you're like maximizing your shipping charges, like getting as much in the box as possible and not leaving space in that box. Like if the box fits 12 and you've got only 10 in your cart, you might as well put 2 more because you're not going to go up to the next shipping charge. So all of that's going to be so easy for you to navigate on the website. So we want to make it easy and we want to help you save money and get as many bare roots. This is the time of year where you can get, bare roots are affordable, right? They're an affordable way to buy and collect roses and to get a lot of roses. So we want to make that really accessible for all of you. So that's what we're working on.
Yeah, I'm going to go see the fields next week. We're doing live counts. They're finishing all that up. So I can't wait to, in fact, I was thinking about doing some videos next week just to post on Facebook, just to show you because we changed bare root rose growers. And we made a huge improvement this year. And I'm going to show you why our bare root roses are the best in the world. And I'm going to do that next week. I'm going to take you on a little tour if you guys want to see it. So
yeah, they love that. They love behind the scenes. Yes. Awesome. Yeah, all of you filled lots of boxes last year. So, and thank you for that. One more. Oh, will we have the option to postpone shipment if there's inclement weather? Yeah, that's also part of our job is to look for those like winter storms. I know like Texas is a place that can get like a freak, ice storm in mid-February or late February when you guys should already be out of that. So Heidi's going to be watching that. That's part of our job. So we'll make sure that everybody gets their roses at the right time. Have a team dedicated to that. So just looking for any last little questions here.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. We will. Alicia, I would say in regards to your sweet madam, sometimes if a plant is struggling, cutting it back before the fall flush, like cut her back hard to give her a nice reset. If she's struggling with all the top growth to survive, giving them a nice cut back, pruning out any of the canes that are on the struggle bus can really refresh the plant and get her to push some nice new growth. So that's what I've always done, is just whack them back a little, especially that one. She tends to get very, very tall. So if she's on that struggle bus, cut her back, cut out anything that's like, is struggling, and to give those healthier canes the best chance possible, and closer to the ground where they can put their energy into less. Heidi, is that what you would recommend too?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, absolutely. In fact, I'm about to plant a bunch of roses, hopefully this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to fit it into my busy weekend, but I'm going to cut mine back, especially in the fall. It's so good. You want to focus on root growth in the fall. Mm-hmm. So doing some cutting back will just help push root growth, which is great right before winter. You'll get such amazing flush in the spring when you do that. So
yeah. All right. I guess that is it for today. I am getting a big shipment of cut roses. It should be here like any minute now. So depending on my energy level, I might bring you all into my kitchen while I unpack today. If anybody wants to hang out with me, not 100% sure it's going to happen today or if it's going to happen tomorrow, but usually the sooner I open the boxes and get them into water, the better for them. So you might see me back on here impromptu this afternoon or tomorrow. And also Nicholas posted a trivia game to our Facebook group today, and I encourage you to enter because you'll get a $250 gift card to our store. The first person to guess them all right will get, or if somebody doesn't get them all, the first person to get most of them right will get that gift card, and you can save it for bare roots and get a whole lot of bare roots with $250. So go ahead and enter the trivia. It's kind of fun. And we'll see you later. Maybe I'll be back on. We'll see.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Okay. Have fun. Have a great weekend. Bye.